Hello and welcome back to, oh my gosh, nope, there it is, Gary Paulson's Lawn Boy. We are at chapter 14. There are only 15 chapters in this book. We're almost done. So we are now about to resolve our issues, don't you see? We had the introduction. Think of the plot line. This is what I'm referring to. I'm sorry, I kind of jumped subjects on you. Think of the plot line. We're coming in. We had the setting. We had the characters. We had the rising action of Lawn Boy making all that money. The big problem, the conflict in this is that, well, there are a lot, but I think the main problem is Lawn Boy has gotten very rich very quickly. And the problem is that he did not tell his parents. So now we are in the resolution. We are resolving the issue. We are in the falling action. Soon, we are concluding. I think I'm ready. Before I get started, I want to apologize. You might hear some power tools in the back. I have some friends that are working on my house. They're helping me with my porch right now. So if you hear hammering and saws and things like that, I'm sorry. I know it's noisy, but it's noisy for me too. All right, I think we can tough it out together. You ready? Chapter 14, resource utilization. So we know what utilization means. It means to use. Resources are all of those things that we have access to that help us thrive. And it's causes and effects. This one was easy. Resource utilization, it's causes and effects. Fourth graders know all about cause and effect. Excuse me. At Arnold's, we parked behind Joey's station wagon just as he was stepping out of the driver's side. Shouldn't we help him in some way? Mom asked until she saw him standing. Oh, on second thought, Joey can handle it, but we're going with him. I got out of the car. No matter what happened, Arnold might need help, either during or after. I started walking towards the house, Mom and Dad with me. Grandma brought up the rear. Grandma's going too, of course. I knew, or thought I knew, what was coming. Joey had gone into the porch slowly, closing the screen door quietly behind him. By that time, we were close to the house. If the front door was locked, well, it didn't slow him down. He hit it, boom, with his shoulder, took it off of its hinges, and was out of sight. There was a muffled, thumping sound. Oh no, Rock or his men might have a gun. Later, I just found out it was the sound of one of the men having his head jammed into the dishwasher without opening the door on the dishwasher. After the thumping, there was a second or two of silence, followed by a scream, and one of the men was thrown out of the front door so hard that he took the porch screen off of its hinges and was propelled into the yard, riding on the screen on his hands and knees like it was a bodyboard. Until he hit the elm tree next to the walkway. The elm was probably 100 years old, very big, and didn't give a millimeter when the man plowed into it face first. A few seconds later, Joey came out with Rock in his right hand and another man in his left, carrying them like cats by the backs of their necks. The first man was still in the kitchen, jammed into the dishwasher. Later, I found out that Rock had three others had been in the kitchen with Arnold tied to a chair. They thought Arnold had told me to come to his place, and they'd been planning to force me to give them money when I came.
I told you,
Joey said,
to leave the sponsor alone or I would pinch your head.
Please, Mr. Powdermilk. Mom was standing by the sidewalk, half horrified, half admiring expression on her face. Couldn't you just give them a stern talking to?
Yes, but I did that before, when they made trouble the first time. I told them that I would pinch their heads if they came back. They came back anyway. Talking to them won't help. Pinching their heads will.
Grandma was nodding. Can you just see her? She's like, yeah, get it. Scrap it up. I won't come back, Rock said. I promise this time. I really do. You don't have to pinch my head. Really, man. I'll do whatever you say. See, Mr. Powdermilk, Mom nodded. I really think he means it. Joey stared at Rock in one hand, then studied the man in his other. He peered over at my father, who shrugged and said, he seems to be telling the truth. Then Joey turned to Grandma, who said, "Probably not the best move, young man. Although, personally, I'd like to see you pound the snot out of them." Joey sighed and looked back at my mother.
"If you really don't want me to."
She shuddered. "Oh, I'd really rather you didn't."
"All right, but if they come back, I'll have to take care of things my way."
"I understand, and they understand, don't you?" Both men nodded enthusiastically. "Then please let them go, Mr. Powdermilk," Mom said. He dropped them, and it was like watching those cartoon scenes where a dog or cat is held off of the ground and its little legs start moving faster and faster until he's dropped and then shoots away. They disappeared in half a second. We all went to the kitchen and found Arnold tied up and gagged. That means that they had put something over his mouth. I introduced him to my parents and Grandma while we untied him. The man, slumped against the dishwasher, was regaining consciousness. Joey picked him up by the neck and threw him the length of the hallway and out the front door. Arnold was none the worse for the wear, meaning no harm had come to him, and made a pitcher of his special iced tea with us. We all had a glass while Arnold explained how he wanted to set up an account with Mom and Dad and Grandma, and asked Arnold if he could, how he wanted to set up an account with Mom and Dad. And Grandma asked if Arnold could find her a boxer to sponsor too. Then my mother held up her glass and said, I think it was a line from Shakespeare, "All's well that ends well." Except that wasn't the end. Can I see you in this very next chapter? Tune in. It's in the very next frame. Let's do it.